2 years have been tough, but today, COVID no longer controls our lives. More Americans are working than ever. Businesses are growing. Our schools are open. Millions of Americans have been lifted out of poverty. Millions of veterans once exposed to toxic burn pits will now get what they deserve for their families and their comparison.
Republicans and independents for Biden. And our pitch was basically, I get why you voted for him in 2016. I mean, I didn't, but people did vote for Donald Trump. But now you know what he is. You can't do it again. And we were successful in taking about 5 to 10% of Republicans and moving them to Biden. But we can't make the mistake to believe that these Republicans were enthusiastic about Joe Biden. They just couldn't stand Donald Trump, and they just wanted to put their country before party and get rid of the most disastrous, dangerous president we've ever seen. Now, when you're looking ahead towards 2022, again, I'm not sure those center-right Republicans are bonding with Biden and that he's the right messenger right now to help the Democrats take back, or I'm sorry, rather help the Democrats maintain the House and the Senate. So that's the challenge.
Greetings and good vibes, everyone. It's your guy, John Tell, back with another webisode. Meg will be with us in a moment, but I wanted to get started, and there's so much to talk about tonight. So many different stories that we got hit with, people sharing with us and wanting to talk about some things. So I wanted to go ahead and just jump into it, and we might have a guest to the show or someone who I will be doing an interview with later on tonight. Welcome to the show, Meg. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good evening. You're welcome, of course.
Yes. I just want to get started a little bit, just to touch base with people, because if you see here, Biden is in Philly. Looks like he's already wrapped up, but they were live. I guess they just finished. He was in Scranton the other day, my old city of Scranton. He likes to tout that he's such a Scranton guy when Scranton give a fuck about him. I'm not even going to get into that, but right. But I just wanted to I don't know. I don't even know why I put this up.
No, you're good.
I don't know.
I mean, we are all not affiliated. Fuck the bullshit. Biden extremism threatens our republic. What else? There is a lot of things that threaten our republic, and you can pick one. Whichever one you feel is the most passionate about, run towards that, because there is a shitload of issues within the republic.
Yo, speak that truth, mama. Talk that truth for real. It's facts. That is such fucking facts, yo.
No, it is. And it's so sad because, I mean, I was just watching today about the insurrection and how, like, that siege totally took place and how Trump, incited it. And I was just like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, shaking my fucking head. Like, this is our president. Like, this is somebody that we're supposed to hold, like, on a pedestal. This is a freaking mockery of society is, like, what this is.
Oh, yeah. It's the backwardsness of our culture that I'm sure has the rest of the world boggled. Like, what is wrong with them and what has been going on?
Right. And what's so crazy is, like, the interviews that I was seeing with Capitol Police, and there was one person that even said, they were like, there was lives that was the chief of Capitol Police died that day due to his injuries. And so it was crazy. They were like, we were, protecting the politicians, but like they could have cared less. And that's where, that's where it's at. It's compassion, and it's like really caring for other people more than
all
yourself.
Across the board.
The practice of selflessness, right? 100%. If we could all practice selflessness, we would be a lot better off.
Agreed. I guess we will get into this new. I was trying to turn the volume down a little bit. This mouse, I need to get a new mouse. It's just too much. All right, that's a nice volume. What?
I always lose my mouse. Like, I'll have it connected and then just use, the laptop regular thing on here. So
I can't. I'm trying to get used to it, but I've just never been one to use the mouse pad thing.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I don't know. a mouse pad. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I'm not one of those people. There's two different kinds of people in this world.
For real, the educated ones and the educated ones. Well, I think most of the time I'm educated. Okay, I'm not even gonna bull crap you.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'll take what I know and run with it.
Right. Well, no, we got the chops to be able to report the story, so that's what matters.
100%.
Speaking of, I don't know where this story went, but it was just here. So we talked about this last night. 20-year-old Donovan Lewis, shot by Columbus Police Department. They claimed they thought he had something on him, which was a vape pen.
Right.
And the manner in which they held his body and dealt with his body should be under immediate investigation.
100%. I would hope to God the DOJ is already in there. For those that don't know what DOJ, Department of Justice, that's who is supposed to be standing up on a federal level for our human rights, our civil rights, and our basic human needs being met, which they are clearly not in this case because they drugged Donovan Lewis down 2 flights of stairs. Half of his pants was off. I mean, this was just ridiculous and disturbing and disgusting and heartening and it was horrible.
And I want to point out the fact that they left he was basically naked. All of his gonads were out for everyone exposed to see.
There was no like compassion for human or human remorse whatsoever. And like we said on the other podcast last night, shout out, this Family Soup is what it was.
Free Agents for Justice, the Family Soup. We're a coalition. Dave, Moon TV. We're a whole coalition all across the country coming together and providing you with the media that you need and deserve.
Exactly. Preach. And so we also, whenever was on that last night, we came to realize that like this officer, not only did he shoot him, but I mean, to be honest, it completely feels premeditated because even if the officer, even if the victim at this point, I'm going to say that he's a victim. If he would have even had a knife and rose up with a knife in his hand, you have to go at somebody with aggression, with force to be able to justifiably shoot them, which means shoot them and get away with it. So like, and
what happened with Ricardo? So
exactly, there's justifiable force. And so, and that's the procedures and protocols that they're supposed to abide by, but that's just not really happening these days.
Right.
And that's where we come in.
Thanks. Police officer shot nearly immediately after opening bedroom door.
Within 1 second.
Exactly. Just the whole manner of this was so fucked up. If anyone has any comments or things they'd like to share, talk about when it's pertaining to this case, let us know right now because we're going to get ready to move on to the next story. We are jam-packed with stuff we want to talk about tonight. Do y'all see all those tabs at the top of the screen here? Ooh, we got some shit to talk about.
That is juice right there. Your daily dish of tea.
We need that needs to be a phrase.
Yes.
A phrase on our show. Your daily dish of tea.
For sure.
Those exquisite saucers. How about that?
Yes. Here, let's state this officer's name again because I totally want him fired. Officer Ricky Anderson with the Columbus, Ohio PD. We demand for an indictment with second-degree murder charges at least due to the fact that he shot him carelessly in a house where this was an apartment building also, guys. So you got to think about other structures on the other side of, this wall. So if he shot him, and it was aiming down, the likelihood of it going to the person, under them is high. The likelihood of it going to the side of, in the other wall is high. He negligently shot his firearm.
Exactly.
Which ended a life. If that was me or you or, anybody else, we would be charged with murder and we would be sitting in jail right now. That's what we're demanding of this officer, Officer Ricky Anderson of the Columbusville Police Department. Inhumane. No, of course, it's a lack of basic human needs being met, which leads people to be criminalized in the first place. This was a basic warrant being served. It wasn't a violent, aggressive warrant. This is crazy.
For real.
And then we have this, which is an ex-DC PS police chief accused of ordering department to mislabel and not report thousands of crimes. We
Oh,
are seeing
shit.
this all over the nation.
See, I'm not even going to air this because every time we report a news story, they want to take copyright claims. So fuck up.
Right. We'll just say, check out www.yahoo News.
Exactly. I'll post the links in the comments for you all, and that will be available via YouTube, the Leon Block channel on YouTube. Yo, Chaz, what up, fam? Thank you for tuning in. So I'm just going to run this down real quick. A former Duval County Schools police chief, that would be Duval. Is that Jacksonville?
Duval
County. That sounds like Jacksonville. Okay. Is falsely reporting 2,261 crimes between 2016 and 2019, according to a newly released unredacted report from the state grand jury. A 16-page report said Michael Edwards told officers to stay in your lane and to behave not as police, but advocates with a badge. Several incidents in this report show that some students in custody were released and some felonies were reported as misdemeanors in an effort to make Duval schools seem safer. The report notes in one instance, a witness saw a teen put a gun in a backpack and head into school. A school police officer requested the school be locked down to find the gun. The report says Edwards refused, saying he didn't want parents picking up their kids to be alarmed.
I mean, but they thought they found a gun, or I mean, like, they had justifiable cause, right? Question mark.
So, okay, like, this is a conundrum, and I don't feel like getting into and explaining this whole conundrum right now, but it is a fucking conundrum. And you want to know why? There's so many different variables at play here. Yes. There's so many different variables at play here to discuss why this is a thing. Right. Why the authorities at the school felt the need to not let the greater community know. That's how you know that this is an issue in our society.
A cover-up.
Right, that we don't want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say on that. What say you, Meg?
I say the same thing. It's a cover-up. They don't want to talk about it. And so they're going to send everybody in a circle. So everybody gets mad confused. And then they just give up, like, eventually, because they don't freaking know.
For real.
That's how the government works. I learned that. I learned that way early on. You got to have somebody that's patient as hell.
All right. So do you know about this story? Did you get to check this out? Right.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Right. A sudden homecoming for one of the people sent back to prison with no warning.
What?
Big changes have arrived for the family of Eric Alvarez. This is from NPR. So Ava Cardozo was one of 230 people released from federal prison during the pandemic, only to be sent back after small infractions like a single positive alcohol or drug test. In June of 2021, Alvarez and Cardozo took a 90-minute cab ride to the Bronx so Cardozo could meet with staffers in charge of her supervision. Alvarez waited outside in the taxi, but Cardozo, who had tested positive for marijuana, did not come out of the building that day. So I'm guessing
they locked her back up for a drug test over weed.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the probation and parole system is an entitlement within itself. I mean, and it's just as hard to go up against them as it is the jail or the state police it's crazy. Facts.
What's this? Oh, so we started the show today with footage from Biden wrapping up his speech or whatever today at today in Philadelphia. One second, y'all. I got someone on the phone. 1 second, Meg, if you just want to hold things down real quick.
Yep, you are good. So
you want to get on the show?
Sure, if you want me to.
All right, we have a guest on the show tonight. About to join in. Heather Johnson, who was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, will give us some info on what's going on. Heather, give me 30 seconds and I will send you, not even, I'm going to send it right now, and just follow the prompts. And
The love of being live, guys.
right. Let me say, there we go. I am going to send you the link now so you can hop on. So if everyone is aware, again, Columbus is, there's some stuff going down. As we just talked about, Donovan Lewis. All right, Heather, I sent you that link. I'll see you in a second.
All right, buddy.
It's
All right,
always good to
y'all.
have boots on the ground, and they can tell us exactly what's going on and what exactly is not being broadcasted by, mainstream.
Mm-hmm. It's always important for us to get the word on the streets.
Yes.
All right, so while we wait for Heather to pop in, Biden wanted to discuss democracy and quote unquote core values. And what he was talking about was funding the police.
Oh, well, oh my gosh. Okay, so Biden is done. God bless his soul. I mean, I feel like there really should be an age that you can't run for president. Like once Alzheimer's dementia set in, like I think that maybe like 65 is a good age. Like whenever people should retire, I don't think you should be able to be president anymore either. Maybe that's like super unprofessional and uncalled for, and that's just my opinion.
Agree.
Because I don't know anything that he's done positive for us or for the country.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, I did see today that he said that he wanted to ban all assault weapons, but how are we supposed to protect ourselves in, mass chaos?
So many people have guns now and stocked who knows where, like in the ground and who knows what. Like, come on.
Shit, for real. I
That's
guarantee
not doing
you.
anything for our society, especially when we know the government has probably got hordes of guns.
Oh, heck yeah. And speaking of all those documents they've recovered from Trump's house, like, that's great too.
All right, I'm going to throw this article in the comments. I'm not going to take the time to read it. Right, I'm not going to take the time to read this, John, but y'all can. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
We want to provide you the news. We don't always have to go through everything. Just provide it to you. So that looks like about a 5 to 10 minute read. This one is about governor in Florida, DeSantis. Why won't Florida Governor Ron DeSantis denounce his neo-Nazi supporters?
Because they probably donate to his campaign and they probably put a lot of money in his pocket. Let's be very honest about that.
Honestly, I think he's a bit neo-Nazi himself.
If everybody would do themselves a favor and go online and search for the political donators in your county, you'll be very surprised. I actually was looking into running for possibly commissioner, and I went on there and was looking, like I was talking to people about, like how much money it would take and everything. And so I went on there and was looking at the donation records. Tell me how, so John Tell, for our commissioners here in Lancaster County, Ray DiAugustino funds Josh Parsons donations with like over $20,000. And it's the same, like, I knew cronyism existed, which that's a really big word. I didn't know what that meant for a really long time. Michelle taught me, but cronyism is friends putting other friends in office. And that is so true.
Yep.
Meg's knowledge for the evening.
Yeah, I love your perspective. And I feel like we work well together, providing a good picture for people. We both have our strengths, you know what I mean, that we definitely play up to. And I couldn't ask for such a better co-host. You really bring the heat.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. This is community. Oh, dang, I deleted the other article.
No, it's totally fine because I have to spill some tea about our Lancaster County racism and how it works here in our county. So I have a friend that goes to court tomorrow, And I, won't say any names or whatever, but I'm going, as a witness in this case for her, just to validate, her claim. And
Right.
tell me how a local lawyer that is like one of the best said quote unquote lawyers in Lancaster County told her that she was dark.
Dark, like in complexion?
Yeah, dark.
OMG.
And
Look.
I was disgusted.
Yo, we gonna have to circle back to that, because that's a whole thing to talk about real quick.
Yep.
But we are joined with our guest Heather Johnson from Columbus, Ohio, but you live in Baltimore now, right?
Correct.
Yes. Welcome back to the show,
Yep.
Heather. She's been on the show multiple times before, so she is friend to the Leon Blog. It is a blessing to have you, per usual, fam.
Oh, I love you so much. So I'm definitely just like, I was like, shucks, let me call them. Just, for y'all's information, I am a mother of 6. So if y'all hear a kid, ignore a kid.
You already know our co-host is too.
Right. So just, forgive me. I just got off the phone with some of my local folks that's on the ground.
You already know our co-host is too.
That's on the grounds, and we just want to update folks because we currently have made a list of demands for Donovan.
Yes, let's hear those demands. Yes.
Okay, so our first one is to end middle of the night warrants.
Yes.
From 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Our second one is the immediate termination and arrest of Ricky Anderson, who was the officer.
Yes.
The third one is the family wants a meeting immediately with the chief of police, Elaine Bryant, Mayor Ginther, and the public safety director, Robert Clark.
That's what
The
I'm talking
fourth
about.
one is for us to have an independent investigation.
Yes.
Yep.
The fifth one is for us to end qualified immunity.
Yes, I agree 100% on that one.
Yes.
Thank you. And then our sixth one is a request for funding to be moved from the city budget to grassroots/social services, just to assist us in domestic violence cases and, pretty much all cases that involve Black people to prevent state-sanctioned killings.
Yes.
Could be. That's what I'm talking. Y'all
So
came
that's
correct
what
with
we
it.
have right now.
But it's the thing, like, y'all have had lots of prep work in all the different cases prior to this to already be able to have those demands already up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so give us a little more insight on like what has led up to this in the prior cases that you're very familiar with that have led up to Donovan's case.
I mean, right now we're still waiting on the trial to start for Jason Mead, who killed Casey Gibson. We're still waiting on Malia Bryant to be able to get some type of justice, who was 17 years old when she was killed by the police. We're still waiting on Andre Hill's case to start when the police just came out and basically did the same thing, started shooting because they assumed that they seen his a gun. And when you are Black, that's what they see. They don't need to see nothing else. The weapon is you. It's not what's in your hand. It's not what's in your feet. It's you. You're the weapon. So just making sure that like we are constantly thinking about our other names before we're even going into the other cases that's going on.
Right. That was exactly my point. You work closely with different entities in the area that are about their stuff. So could you just shout them out, talk about them real quick so people know the proper like resources and places to get the real deal from and know who they can trust and whatnot, you know?
Definitely. So I am a co-founder for Just. It's Justice, Unity, and Social Transformation. We are currently helping be one of the organizers for Donovan Lewis, and just making sure that we do some of the events this weekend. I'm uplifting that specifically. We have a couple of organizations that are super awesome that always work with us. We have an organization that's called the Downtowners, DOWNERZ, the Downtowners. And they are an awesome group. I mean, when we say with the shits, I think of the Downtowners. So I
Yes.
want to shout them out. We have an org for First Collective. And First Collective has been very supportive in just helping us provide aspects, especially with human rights, even like down to housing. So we always are trying to work with those folks. And I think of like Remember Us Scouts, Hawk Violence, are all organizations that we are affiliated with and that we work with.
See, you always bring it. You always bring it. You know where to go, who to talk to. If anyone needs to run that back, we can run that back. I will add links and stuff later on to the comments. Me and Heather will get up and talk. Don't worry, y'all. I will have the proper links for y'all. But in the meantime, y'all heard it first. There is a viewer that is asking about 137 shots and Tamir Rice and how it all feels now.
So let me be very clear. I am not sure about 137 shots, and I don't speak on anything that I'm not like completely familiar with. So, with Tamir Rice, I do not speak on because I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and not to say that that case isn't important because it's very important. It actually brought me into the space. I just don't know enough to give out any information, and I don't like to give y'all false information.
I know that's right. Yes. Tamir Rice was Cleveland, right?
Yeah, Tamir Rice was Cleveland. And like currently, I believe his aunt is over the NAACP chapter in Cleveland. And I met with his grandmother one time who came to Columbus, Ohio in support for Casey Goodson. So I definitely have love for that lady. She drove 2.5 hours out to come and support us in Columbus, Ohio. So I just don't have like a day-to-day communication with them.
Of course, right. But see, just for the show up is important, the solidarity, because Ohio needs every last little bit of solidarity within the state and beyond.
Definitely. I mean, absolutely. It's open city. I mean, it's open season, I should say, for our city. Currently, it's wild, and I'm not sure how closely you followed up to this case. But on August 22nd, we had a police involved shooting. August 28th, right before Donovan's, we had a police shooting with a 17-year-old who the police officers were jumped out the car and started shooting this man who was running away, and he was 17 years old. He's actually being charged with the case of there being guns from where he supposedly ran from. But these are being like currently shown. And then Donovan Lewis, who was the last one, which we're just wondering, like, these officers didn't want to render aid. If you watch the video, they had no type of like, put your hands up. You just shot me. You literally just killed me. And you're still treating me like this. We have to change that. So one of my colleagues always says it's not even just the killings that we're worried about. It's about the 1,000 cuts that we're getting beforehand, because we got all these within 100%. A week before Donovan Lewis got killed.
Wow.
So it
See,
was
I
the
didn't.
news.
This is stuff I'm talking about. This is why media is important, because we had no clue about this, and we have eyes and ears all over the place. We didn't know anything about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was three
Wow.
shootings. You can look it up. They I believe it should be on 10 TV. But they spoke about the three shootings in the areas of where it's at. And these aren't places where, I mean, these are in places where, yeah, it's high traffic areas. But the police are taking open season in a state where you are able to open carry. We don't have a conceal license. It's open carry. You don't have to, you can open carry and it can be concealed. So now it's even more dangerous to be around the trigger happy cops because
Right.
they really don't know if you have a gun or are allowed to have a gun on you.
Wow. And so that's their automatic justification of shooting.
Definitely. I mean, a vape pen is a gun now.
Exactly. We did talk about that last night. The shape, the size is completely different than a knife or a gun. That cop was premeditated as quick as he shot him.
It was within 1 second.
Yep.
They could, to the point where even if you watch the video and it's edited or anything in that nature for censorship or anything, they had to
Right.
stop it immediately. As soon as he said, "I'm gonna let the dog out," he shot that. He
Right.
shot.
Yep.
I mean, and we just seen that. You know what I mean? There's so much backstory that's coming out, but this is the reason why it's very important for us to start thinking about what does community safety look like for us? Who do we
Yes.
have to call? Who's our 5 people that takes care of us?
Yes.
Where are we going? What makes a person feel safe? And then what are we willing to do to participate in this safety that we're asking for?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Everyone has a role to play, and we need to start thinking about what roles we are good at and start applying them. Everybody.
Exactly. Right. And it's going to take everyone, because the way that I think of safety might not be your view of safety, but that doesn't take away safety for you.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
Exactly. Now, just a question. Does Columbus have a civilian review board?
Yes, we do. And if you look it up on Facebook with the names, most of them are currently on vacation.
Oh my goodness.
And
now,
because of the way that it was written, most of the people have relationships with the police. So although the civilian review board is not paid, they have positions that allows them the power to flex so that they can be able to get these talking and speaking engagements of being on the review board.
So there's still a way for you to swing it or for them to swing it and it be corrupt.
Definitely. There's ex-police officers, there's ex-people who work for the city. That was deliberately and specifically to the cops. You once you look it up, once you get a chance to review those names and look those people up, they're Googleable. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Google them. None of them are folks that are working on social justice. None of them are activists. None of them they're Black people, so that we can see them and assume that we'll be safe.
Right.
Wow.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
And you know this.
Right. I got a question for you. One of the viewers said, from Tamir Rice's murder in 2012 in Ohio to now in 2022 with Donovan Lewis, what has changed?
The ability to see the murders in HD.
I know that's right. Hit the nail on the coffin.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. We there's nothing that truly has been changed. There has been things that has made the public comfortable, which has been like, hey, we're going to give you a civilian review board. We're going to give you community conversations. You can have coffee with the cops now. You know, things like that. But these aren't. these don't transfer into safety in our neighborhoods because they believe that safety means more police. But when I go and have conversations with folks and ask them about safety and just having these conversations, nobody's like, you know what, I feel real safe when I'm around 150 police officers.
Facts.
Nobody says that. And
Right.
so it's not recognized what we think is safe. And a lot of the conversations that we're having with the police officers, they are censored. They are like, oh, okay, you feel like that. And then they're ready to snap back. I mean, we have a black chief of police. Then we have a black assistant chief of police that both came from Detroit. They're not even from Columbus. So they're bringing some ethics that they had.
This is exactly what happened in Lancaster.
Yep.
After Ricardo Munoz was shot and killed, and we did all the things we did, they co-opted the whole movement, and then they brought in a black police chief from out of town.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like this person doesn't know anything about us, and we have qualified folks. I mean, let me keep it real. We really don't have qualified folks. Not anybody that really would want to take that job. Now, we have some people that could do the job better, but they would never be police officers because of the rules of the game. I would feel a lot more safer if my chief of police had a felony. You know what I mean? So that they could be like, this is how we handle felonies. This is how we handle. I don't want somebody that's scared to go to jail. I don't want somebody that's afraid to be around black people or to be around queer folk or to be around like I don't need that. I literally just witnessed on a live stream a week ago. I can talk about it now. It was a week ago where they did civil disobedience and they literally arrested someone who was in a wheelchair. Took them out of their wheelchair, put them in the ambulance because they wanted to end the camp sweeps because that's what we're going through right now. They are sweeping the camps. So
it happened in Philly not too long ago.
Civil disobedience, they put them in a wheelchair. They took their wheelchair away from them. They wanted to process it, but they didn't know how to work it, so they left it in the middle of the street.
So what the hell? So what? I don't even know what to ask right now because, wow. Like, so what did they do with the person they were arresting? Like, if they took them out of the wheelchair,
they put him on a gurney.
Yeah.
So they suppressed him, which is what they wanted to do.
With the cuffs.
Oh my goodness.
And this is a good friend of mine, so I'm allowed to talk about them. I seen that. I said, yo, you okay? They like, yeah, I'm good. Like, it's still fuck 12, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's the situation. But like we make space for everybody in the community when we're trying to make change because when you make space for everybody, change is gonna come for everybody.
Right.
That's right.
100%.
Yo, you always talk that real, spit that real, and you always provide people. No, because it's important for people to see a black woman speak so eloquently, but also keep it real. You're so relatable. Do you know what I'm saying? People, you have the mindset and the power that people need to hear and need to see, and it's important. And you always speak like you're always boots on the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? Columbus.
I try to be. That's my home.
Right. Ohio in general needs us. Ohio needs boots on the ground. They need people helping. They need people watching. Excuse me. They need eyes and ears. Mm-hmm. So to have you speaking up always consistently, and to now always have you on the show and to be a friend of the show, you always welcome to be, to speak your truth and let people the greater community know what's going on. I love you. And we go back 2 years now. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that, but this movement is not stopping, and our consistency in this movement proves that. Like, we're not going nowhere.
We're not, and we can't go anywhere. And one of the things that they want us to focus on is things that are like, yo, you got all these other needs, right, Leah? You got all these other needs, you got all these other issues, and you need to be focused on that. No, I need to be focused on what I'm focused on right now
Right.
because you're trying to get me away from what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm
Exactly.
supposed to
Right.
do this. I'm called to do this.
Talk about
It's my space to be in this. So
Yes.
like that's one of the real reasons why we got to stay so in tune to
Yes.
where we're supposed to be because everything will be provided for us if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Talk about it, sis.
Yes.
They can't put a check on that, baby. Ha!
Yep.
For real. For real. That's freaking love you.
So I
Um,
love you too.
So before we wrap up real quick, 'cause we have some news that we want to get into. Is there any last things you want to let people know, specifically like about Ohio, about Columbus, what people can do to get involved, all the good stuff, you know?
So you can follow Just614 on Instagram, as well as on Facebook. We are having a whole weekend of events. It's a call to basically a call to action. We're asking for folks to attend the rallies, and more information is given on our website, which is just614 as well.org.
So that's JUST 614.
Yes, it is. There's a whole bunch of Just out here, but there's only one Just 614.
Got you.
And then we have, I would just say, think about what you believe is safe for you, and then figure out what you're willing to do for it. And let's start having these conversations. Let's go ahead and start having these meetings and these communal spaces, such as what you're doing, and being able to have this intentional request for change, because things aren't going to change unless we demand it, and we know that.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
Yes.
But I definitely love you. I'm the Black
We love
Heather
you.
on every social media site. I think I am on Twitter too, but it's definitely Facebook and Instagram. And I would love to talk to y'all. Y'all talk to me. And it's with 2 E's.
I thought so.
I have to remind people because I'm not I'm the.
Right.
Yeah, I love both of you, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much. Love you too. I look forward to meeting you.
Yes.
Look forward to meeting you too. See you soon.
Have a good one, love. Thank you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. So while Heather was on the show, and shout out to Heather, thank you for being on the show. It's the Black Heather. You can follow her on social media. And then it was just614.org. And I will touch base with her and give you more information as well. If you check our social media page on Facebook, the We Are Black Independent Media, we do have some rallies and protests that are coming up for like today, tomorrow, Sunday in Columbia's area for Donovan Lewis, if you want to check that out. All right, so I know it was a minute ago, Meg, but we were in the middle of you talking about something. Do you remember what it was?
Oh yeah, so about the dark comment.
Yes.
I am kind of shocked, but that's why I will be making an appearance in court tomorrow and using every white privilege that I have been, I don't want to say blessed, but whatever we're going to call it with, and we're going to get these charges dismissed because this person has never been in trouble before. I don't care if she's purple. It doesn't matter. And so we're going to see what happens. I told her that we should call him Pinky, and that's just me respectfully saying my opinion.
I mean, you say Pinky, I say Piggy, tomato, tomato.
Yep, exactly. I'm with it. Be like, hello, white man. How are you feeling today, white man? Like that's so derogatory. Like that's not needed at all.
Right,
I don't. I mean, I would not want to be. Ugh, this is America.
Look,
I say that every show.
but saying piggy is different because it's referring to like the profession, the uniform. You know what I'm saying? It's not the
Right.
individual person. That's why I always say it's not the person, it's the profession that I have the issue with. And then we can get into the specifics of the people when we can get into the case. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. And what's so crazy is my girl paid $5,000 to be told this.
Wow. Hey, money talks.
This is America. So
Facts. Took the words out of my mouth. America with 3 Ks though.
right, for real. My thoughts exactly. Oh, did you see this though? Like this
Yeah.
is totally, if this was a Black person, they probably would go to jail. Let's be honest. Like
Exactly.
it's kind of insane. There was force. I mean, homeboy was gonna, break in.
What the?
Mitchell Ducrow of Sydney shot and killed 22-year-old James Rail last month after it appears Rail tried to break into the house where his ex-girlfriend Allison lives. In video captured by a home security system and provided to NBC News by local police, you can see Rail first ringing the doorbell multiple times.
He's like, hey, he's coming back.
The family saying they asked him to leave, and then
He's trying the door. Dad. No, answer the dad. Dad, no! Oh my God, can you please hurry?
Rail is shot 3 times. We paused the video to obscure this graphic moment. He stumbles backward.
Hold up a second. Because this is I'm pissed off. First of all, why is it okay to continuously show Black boys and young men and young brown boys and men getting killed, bullets, blood, and all on live TV, news as well? Right.
Yeah, I didn't know he was shot 3 times, and I think that's like a kind of excessive considering that the threat. I mean, this could have easily been handled with less than lethal force.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And so the bystander was completely like,
wow.
He was like, "Oh, he's dead," and they did not offer him aid. He's not moving. Like it's so common. Yeah.
Audio from the 911
Oh my God.
Ducrow phoned police while Rail was on the porch when she says he tried breaking into the family home. The pair previously dated but broke it off some time ago. The circumstances of their split not clear. The family interviewed by police.
Once I realized he was getting in and the door was open, is when I shot.
Rail's sister, Jessica Colbert, says her brother went to the house to, quote, look out for Allison.
He's there for a friend.
Colbert, emotional at the loss of her baby brother.
I fell to my knees. This couldn't be true. He's not supposed to die before me.
Last year, a new stand your ground law went into effect in Ohio, expanding rights for individuals using deadly force in situations of self-defense.
Ohio, do better.
Prosecutors in this case decided not to move forward with any charges against Mitchell Ducrow.
What?
Not only should Mr. Ducrow be held accountable, but so should the other people involved that did not do a full investigation.
But on that day, 1 month ago, Allison was grateful for what her father did.
I'm not mad at you. Thank you for it. I'm okay.
Oh, hell no.
You're the best dad ever. You just saved my life.
Oh my God.
All right, Julie Sirkin joins us now.
What is wrong with this world? What is wrong with this world?
So
this is what it's come to, that we're using. This is what it's come to. Like, you can't just fight someone. You can't wrestle this little boy to the ground. You have to get a gun and shoot him 3 times. And you're teaching your daughter that is okay. But that's how you defend yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And so just to explain to the viewers, a stand your ground state is, Pennsylvania is the same law affects, us in Pennsylvania. That if somebody, it's a mi casa law, it's what it's called here. But stand your ground means that if somebody comes in your house or tries to break in with force, you have you can shoot and kill them and get away with it. And that's putting it very raw. same in like for us in a car, even if somebody comes at us with force with a weapon, we have the ability to shoot and kill them and not get charged for it. So there is gray areas and everything in law, but I think this is very iffy.
This is the kind of stuff that Heather was just
Exactly. And so why didn't the officers shoot him automatically whenever they arrived on scene? I mean, because that's what they do these days, right? Is it because it wasn't a warrant, or is it because they called? Like, I'm very concerned and confused. Because this is like clear negligence with a firearm. He knew damn well that he did not have to shoot a 23-year-old kid 3 times to stop him. 1 time would have been enough. Just like Ricardo Muniz shot 4 times. Come on now, y'all.
No, what would have been enough is just to have the gun maybe to scare him or shoot outside. I don't know.
Block the door, knock him in the face. Do something other than shoot the
You're
poor
a
kid.
grown-ass man.
You're a grown-ass, heavy-set man who should be able to stand his ground in his own home without a lethal force weapon.
Fact.
Question mark? Like, this is crazy, y'all.
This really is crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, we got to move on because we got like a few minutes left. And I'll go into the rest of this later, Meg, if you're busy. But armed ATF agents going door to door to seize your legally obtained items. What? What is this?
Welcome back, everybody. As you can imagine from the title of the video, today we're talking about the next step and what the ATF has been doing regarding FRTs or forced reset triggers, as well as solvent traps. So for the new folks here, just to kind of prime you on what's going on, if you haven't watched my videos I've done on this in the past.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're done with that already. I think that just means they're going to go like take all the high-powered assault rifles, but who really knows?
Right.
I feel like I need a high-powered assault rifle and like need to learn how to use it and like be ready to go.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we all should.
For honestly. Real, we should go shooting. John Tell, let's do it live from Moore's, shooting range.
This is candlelight vigil for James Williams, and there's a bunch of different vigils set for him. Okay. So James Williams, was brutally shot and killed by a Canton, Ohio. Again, Ohio police officer on New Year's Day 2022. And the family and friends are hoping that, we'll join them on the 13th day of every month for a candlelight vigil in his memory. James' birthday was on January 13th. So they're hoping to gather and celebrate his life on the 13th of every month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, we see a pattern now. Like now, Ohio, I'm not really sure what else it has to do to show anybody with, you don't have to be a professional or expert in the legal field to realize like there's a pattern going on in Ohio of police officers involved shootings. There has been since, at least 2014 with Tamir Rice. Like accountability, transparency, where are they at? Columbus, we're coming for you.
Yes, I love you.
I mean, they have to be accountable just like we do. Like, this is ridiculous. They are hired to protect us.
I'm about to start like putting it out, like getting some money together and try to go out there.
Yeah.
It's about time.
I don't understand why there's no charges yet. It doesn't make any sense to me. Somebody make it make sense. This officer shot and killed this kid.
So we talked about this one the other day. New York City police officer caught on video hitting a woman who was 19 years old in the face. Tamani Crum shoved an officer arresting a suspect on Tuesday, and he responded by hitting her in the face, sending her onto the sidewalk. She was charged with assault on a police officer.
She's like 120 pounds against a 300-pound officer. He's easily twice.
Look at that. Look at
She's
that.
Tiny.
Look at that's crazy.
He rocked her world for sure.
Yo, you took the words literally out of my mouth. I was gonna say he rocked her dome, yo.
For real. And I don't even want to, like, that is I'm
not
not
trying to say it in a bad way, right?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, I'm with you. That is absolutely horrible. And for her to be a woman, for her to be as small as she is, like, oh my God.
Exactly. Lawyer for a black man killed while in bed by Ohio police says officers treated him like an animal. Rex Elliott, the attorney representing the family of Donovan Lewis, also said police need to reconsider serving late night warrants.
Good.
There was no gun. They handcuffed him. They told him to crawl out of bed. They dragged him onto the floor. It was just terrible. And we'll be looking very closely into whether that activity contributed to his death as well. It's completely improper.
Yep.
They fucked up a whole crime
Was in
scene.
the back room of his apartment when CPD stormed the apartment at 2 a.m., shortly after 2 a.m.
It's called they contaminated it.
Donovan was
By
asleep.
moving a body, it's called contaminating the crime scene. So
Yep.
where's
Had
the
no
charges on that?
CPD would burst into
We get charged with contaminating a crime scene if we kill
Three white
somebody.
police officers
Exactly.
And an aggressive canine dog entered the apartment. Donovan was alone in his room, in his bed.
Asleep.
The dog
The most
and the
private
officer
place of, safe place that a person
Officer
has
Anderson
in their bed.
opened the door to his bedroom as officers were yelling at Donovan to come out. Officer
But he was
Anderson
probably
opened the door and almost immediately fired a shot into the bedroom as Donovan was trying to get out of bed. Donovan was unarmed and he was abiding by police commands to come out of his room when he was shot in cold blood by Officer Anderson.
Exactly.
There was no justification. Let me be clear.
No justification. Exactly.
Officer Anderson to shoot an unarmed man trying to get out of bed as police officers were instructing him to do.
Exactly. And he's on paid leave. That makes it even freaking worse. And then what the officers will do is they'll go and rearrange it to some other place, just like they did Burkhart with the Muniz shooting.
Right. Oh, man. All right.
Grr. I be getting pissed.
I know. Right. I'm sorry, y'all. I know we give y'all like lots of shit. One of these nights we're gonna shake it up and just chill and have a chat because me and Meg be vibing. But just one last story. We're just gonna take like 2 minutes. This was the graphic video of Anthony Hulan struggling in jail. Have you heard about this?
No.
Me either. This was before George Floyd.
Okay, so he's having a mental health crisis, clearly. Or he got some kind of from within the prison.
Or maybe he can't breathe.
I don't know for sure, but that looks like tuberculosis.
Right.
So that would mean like somebody brought the drugs into the prison, which likely is COs. What does that say? I can't read it.
Right. So footage shows officers Edgar Guerrera, Gary Warden, Charles Wright, and Trevor Allman holding down Hulan even after he said, "I can't breathe." Positional asphyxia was the formal cause of death, according to the Ingham County Medical Examiner's Office. The office labeled the death as a homicide. Hulan had been arrested 12 hours earlier on a misdemeanor domestic violence charge.
Wow.
The Buckfire law firm has filed a lawsuit against the city, the Lansing Police Department, Michigan. And 6 individual LPD members for wrongful death, including all 4 who physically held him down. No criminal charges have been filed against any of the officers involved.
we should look up that civil lawsuit and go down it like the next live and see what all they're saying, because civil lawsuits hold the most tea and like the most truths for real about these situations.
Right. All right, Meg, let's get off of here. We're under an hour. Let's be able to restream this stream. Make sure y'all meditate. I'll get with you in a second. Make sure you meditate on your path, celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. Y'all, I'm John Tell. Have a good one.